Um, as you can see, I'm alone. Just alone. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Unshackled Pod. I'm Charles. As you can see, I'm alone today. I don't have Zach. I don't have my buddy. Zach's going through a lot, man. He's had COVID all week. He's been super sick. I know he's getting better, but he just was not feeling up to it. We tried to delay it as long as we can, but hey, we're going to get you guys one out. We knew we had to, so I decided to solo this, the first solo one. We'll see how it goes. I'm just going to try and run through stuff pretty quick because, you know, I'm not going to be able to debate a lot with Zach and yell at him and argue. But, yeah, man, I hope it's a good show still, and I hope you guys still enjoy it. We had some interesting football this last week. We are going to just stick to football today. We're just going to go over a quick recap, then get into, like, this week, and then obviously start with some positive and negatives. But, yeah, I'm just going to jump right into it. So, first, positive and negative. For me, my positive and my negative were the same thing, and it was my car. My car completely pooped out on me, all right? It was an old car. It was bound to happen eventually, so it pooped out. I had to get a new car, which was the positive, right? And kind of the negative. It's a really nice, 2021 Jetta, so I'm happy to have it. First Volkswagen I've ever had, which is pretty sweet. But hey, man, it worked out. I got a really good deal on it. I lost a car that I loved. I love driving, and it's pretty unfortunate, but it worked out in the end, so I can't really complain. The timing was A-okay, and that's just how it is sometimes. You know, the weather has been absolutely terrible here in Kansas. We've had, like, negatives pretty consistently or, like, right around zeros, maybe in the teens. And a couple cracks just got real bad, I guess, and that's just how it happens sometimes. But can't complain. Moving forward, I don't have Zach's positives and negatives or anything like that, but if I could guess, I think his positive is going to be the Chiefs won. So you're welcome. You're welcome, Zach, that we pulled through, that our team pulled through, buddy. His negative, on the other hand, I'm going to guess his negative was the Cowboys losing. And probably he would say, like, him being sick. But really, I think the biggest negative outside of the Cowboys losing for Zach would be that they kept Mike McCarthy. I'm going to let him get on a tangent next time he gets on and talk about that. But, another collapse from the Cowboys in the playoffs. I'm pretty sure it's – I mean, this is just a running theme at this point, and I'm sure Zach's used to it, but it still sucks. I was rooting for the Cowboys, as you saw in my picks, but it happens. They kept Mike McCarthy, so yeah, we'll see what Zach says next time he gets back on and talks about that. But anyways, I'm just going to run right into the recap, starting Saturday with Texans 45, Browns 14. This game was like absolute domination from pretty much the second half on. It was actually an amazing first half. This game was really entertaining in the first half. A couple interesting drives. I think it was 17-14 in the first half, something like that. I know at one point the score was 17-14 or 10-14. It was a good game. This game was fun to watch. The Texans looked absolutely amazing coming out in that second half. They just completely dominated the game. C.J. Stroud's a rookie, which is unbelievable because he looked phenomenal. He looks like a seasoned vet. D'Amico Ryan's a rookie head coach. I mean, he had those guys flying around. They looked really solid against the Browns. A really good Browns team. I mean, yeah, this Browns team is, kind of on borrowed time. They've had a lot of injuries, a lot of crazy stuff happen in that organization this year, but they're a good team, man. They made it to the playoffs nonetheless, and that defense, which I'm pretty sure was like the number 1 or 2 defense in the NFL, got absolutely exploited by the Texans. And C.J. Stroud, he tore him apart, man. And even Singletary running the ball looked really good. This is a complete W for the Texans. Their line looked amazing. They dominated the game, but this is the biggest hats off to me. I know Stroud is an amazing story and everything like that, but their defense just absolutely suffocated the Browns. They looked great, and their linebackers looked great. One of them got a pick six. I mean, there was 2 pick sixes on back-to-back plays in this game. So the second half was a complete blowout. The game was good up until, like a couple minutes into the third quarter, and then Flacco threw back-to-back pick sixes, and then you kind of knew it was over. But I got to give a hats off to Texans and to Houston. Congratulations to you guys. They've had games where they've dominated before and like completely like run things, and it ended up losing. And that, I'm lucky that happened for us as a Chiefs fan because we got the Super Bowl that year that it happened. But yeah, I mean, for the Texans, they were probably still, the fan base, they were probably holding their breath a little bit to see what happened, and then to watch them just completely shut down and close out the rest of that game. It had to be encouraging. As just an NFL fan, it was awesome to watch C.J. Stroud and a rookie just do unbelievable things. Do I wish this game was closer? Of course, man. I'm not necessarily a Texans or a Browns fan. I'm a Chiefs fan. But you got to appreciate what the Texans did, and congrats to them, man. Big team win. They got an awesome upcoming game that we're going to talk about later. So, yeah. Moving on to the Saturday night game was Chiefs-Dolphins. The Chiefs beat the Dolphins 26-7. As a Chiefs fan, this was awesome to see. I was very, very happy. I wanted to see domination. I wanted to see a little bit more points maybe in the red zone. We stalled out a little bit, had a couple penalties, but all in all, this was a great game to see from a Chiefs fan perspective. And you kind of expected it. This is what should have happened. You had a team that's coming from warm temperature, pretty much year-round, coming into some frigid temperature. This was the fourth coldest game ever in the NFL. So you had to expect the Chiefs to come out there and just dominate it, or at least to, whoever was going to set the tone was going to win this game. And the Chiefs did it from start to finish. They're a cold-weather team. They know how to play in these conditions. For Miami, a lot of odds were stacked against them. It was tough. It was tough to watch. If I'm a Miami fan, I would have felt real bad watching that. Maybe would have expected it a little bit, but maybe not that bad. As a Chiefs fan, though, it was absolutely amazing to see. It was good to see Tyreek coming back to KC. I know, it wasn't great for him, but as a Chiefs fan, always going to love Tyreek, always going to appreciate what he did for us, and always going to appreciate when we shut his ass down, because that was awesome. It felt good to watch. Outside of one play, this was a complete domination from the Chiefs, start to finish. They dominated in every facet of the game, so got to appreciate it. Happy to see that moving forward. We got a real tough one coming up, and that was the last game, probably in Arrowhead, we're going to see for the rest of the postseason. So got to appreciate what we had. Awesome upcoming schedule for the divisional round. But Sunday was the early slate was Packers and Cowboys. And once again, this was a complete domination. The score is not going to show what the real story of this game was. So Packers won 48-32 against the Cowboys. This is probably why Zach didn't show up. Let's be honest. Ooh, catch myself again. Let's be honest. But no, he's sick. Maybe. Packers absolutely destroyed the Cowboys this game. 48-32, like I said. The score looked closer because the Cowboys kind of put up some points towards the end of the fourth quarter. But really, start to finish, Packers just did whatever they wanted to on offense. They ran the ball whenever they wanted to. They threw the ball whenever they wanted to. Jordan Love looked absolutely perfect. I think he had a perfect game until the very end of the game. We had to come back in, and he threw one pass, and it was incomplete, which completely sucks. But straight domination from the Packers here. The Cowboys got outcoached. Absolutely outcoached start to finish. Their defense got exploited. I think they kind of underestimated the Packers a little bit here. The Packers defense, stepped up for the most part throughout the game. But yeah, for Cowboys, this just looked really bad. And I thought the Cowboys were going to win this game. I definitely picked them. And Packers came in and just shut them down. And they slapped. This was kind of like the Chiefs game. Whoever came out and slapped the other one in the face first was going to win it. And that's exactly what happened with the Packers. For the Cowboys, it feels a little bad. They did keep Mike McCarthy. They said they're going to. I know Zach was not happy about that. And like I said, I'm going to let him talk about that. But it's interesting. Cowboys made it to the postseason, 3 years in a row. They've gone 12-5 or something like that. Pretty good records, really good regular season team. But it seems like they make it to the playoffs and everything just falls apart. So, I don't know. I don't have a ton to say about this game except the Packers dominated and they looked great. Jordan Love looked fantastic, and Aaron Jones had 3 touchdowns. So they ran all over the Cowboys. They looked amazing. It's going to be another awesome game coming into the divisional round between them and the 49ers. But we'll talk about that here in a little bit too. And Sunday night game was the best game of the weekend by a mile. It wasn't even close. This game was absolutely everything it lived up to be. Stafford coming back to Detroit, playing the Lions at home. This was just, for Detroit, absolutely amazing thing. I'm happy for them that they're in the playoffs. I'm happy that they even got the chance to host a playoff game. So super happy for them and that fan base. And even happier for them because they won 24-23. They beat the Rams. This was a very, very, very good game. Very close. Teams looked really, really good. Teams played each other really, really well. Detroit's defense really stepped up in the red zone to keep this from getting away from them. So I got to hand it to Detroit. Got to hand it to Motor City. Dan Campbell, He got big old balls, and he used them to win that game. And for Jared Goff, dude, absolutely phenomenal game by him. You know, it was a great – they scored 21 points really quick in the first half, and it kind of slowed down. And they kind of just stuck around in the second half. But they ended up winning the game, and that's all you needed to do. You know, they played it a little safe maybe in the second half, but it worked. They won 24-23. Stafford had a chance towards the very end, and I'm not going to lie, there was a couple missed calls throughout this game favoring Detroit, but – for the city, I'm super, super happy for him. Stafford, you know, he was happy for the team, there was some interesting stuff about this game. Stafford got booed hard, but you kind of expect it. You kind of have to if you're Detroit. You got to root for your guy. But I think everybody in that city would say they absolutely love Stafford still, and they're really happy that he got his Super Bowl, I imagine, and they're really happy that they got their playoff. This was like the biggest win-win all the way around when it comes to the trade, just the teams, just the fan base. Really happy for Detroit. You guys got it. You got an awesome upcoming game as well, and we'll get to that. Yeah, this was the best game by a mile, and outside of this, it was kind of just blowouts. So Monday night, Bills got moved from Sunday to Monday. A lot of snow, a lot of weather problems here. Still going into next week, we're gonna have some weather problems, but yeah, Bills played the Steelers at home, and Bills won 31-17. This game started off as complete domination. Like, I definitely thought the Bills were going to run away with this to start it. Steelers kind of stuck around. They hung around. Their defense made some plays. Special teams made some plays. Ended up getting it real close towards the end of the game. I mean, I think it was 24-17. Steelers were driving. They had a shot, man, and it didn't work out for the Steelers, unfortunately. Bills held on. Happy for the Bills. They got that W. They've had a hell of a season, man. It's been an interesting – I mean, they've been in the playoffs for the last 7 weeks. So for the Bills, this was huge. They get to host the Chiefs this upcoming week. So obviously, you know how I'm feeling about that. But Josh Allen was unbelievable. He had 4 total touchdowns by himself. So it was just a complete game. And, yeah, although it ended up being a little bit closer than it looks, Bills looked good, man. And it's going to be tough for the Chiefs to get this W this next week. But got to give my hats off to them. Great team win. They did lose some players with injury, but all in all, it was a good game. And I do think the game might have been a little bit different if TJ Watt was there, but for the Steelers, you can't really be that upset, man. They showed up the best that they could after like a really, really bad start and made it a game, but Bills came out on top, 31-17, you know. That's just how it goes sometimes. For the Bucks, 32, Eagles, 9. Another complete dominating game. Bucks were at home. I think a lot of people maybe kind of saw this coming. I think they were like, hey, maybe the Eagles will flip the switch getting into playoffs, but they've been on the biggest collapse I've ever seen in my life for the past like 6-7 weeks. And for the Eagles, like, it was kind of just a long time coming that this was going to happen. They've had a lot of injuries, a lot of people playing hurt. A.J. Brown did not play, but that's kind of all I want to say about the Eagles. Like, they got dominated. For the Bucks, this was an awesome game. The Bucks played really, really well. Baker played absolutely amazing. 300 yards, 3 touchdowns. He was the first player in Tampa Bay postseason history to do that without a pick. They were perfect pretty much. I mean, the Bucks played this game exactly as they needed to. They shut down the Eagles, shut down the run game, shut down Jalen Hurts. Outside of Devonta Smith, there was nothing that the Eagles were able to do. Complete domination. Just complete domination start to finish in this game. There was a little bit of a moment where you thought maybe it would turn, but no, man. Bucks closed it out. Looked really, really, really great. And I got to give my hats off to Baker and that team, man. They have been under the radar kind of for a while this season, but we kind of knew like someone had to win that South, and they came in and they beat the absolute shit out of the Eagles. And I do think they have a shot against these Lions coming up this next week in Detroit. So, yeah, this was a dominating game and a dominating week. In the divisional round, there was really only one good close game. You could say the Bills and Steelers was a little close. But, yeah, I'm hoping this divisional round is definitely closer, definitely better. For NFL fans, it was probably a little boring at times. But for the fans of the teams, they had to feel great for the ones that won in the dominating fashion. So, yeah, moving on. We're just going to jump right into this week and these matchups in the divisional round. The divisional round. Oh, my God. We're already in the divisional round. It's a beautiful thing, but, man, football's getting close to an end. We only got 4 games this weekend. It's tough. It's tough. Football's on its way out. I know we got, like, AFL, NFL, or XFL, like, some interesting, like, leagues forming, but sucks to see that the NFL season's almost over. That being said, if your team is still in it, it's awesome and it feels great. I'm lucky enough that my team is still in it, but we'll get to that. We're going to start with Texans at Ravens. The Texans are +9 at the Ravens. Look, this is probably some recency bias. We haven't seen the Ravens play in the postseason, obviously, yet, and Lamar's never gotten past the divisional round. So I'm personally taking the Texans at +9. This spread is just kind of insane to me for what the Texans have showed us, and I feel good about them. For the Ravens, though, I'm not going to be surprised if they come out and just dominate this game because they're a very good team. This is recency bias, I think, coming up for me and for a lot of people picking the Texans here because they looked so dominant. But Ravens are no joke, and I'm excited to watch this game. It's actually coming on here soon. I am recording this Saturday. I'm going to try and get this out immediately. Unfortunately, you know, like I said, I tried to push it as late as I could for Zach. But, yeah, this game's at 3 o'clock, and you know what? It's going to be an awesome game. No matter what happens, I think this is going to be a banger. I think every game outside of the spread, you know, the spreads are making them look real bad. But I think every game this divisional week is going to be a lot better than the wild card. But I'm going to take the Texans, and Zach is also going to take the Texans on the spread here at +9, and we're going to kind of see what happens there. For the next game, we got Packers and 49ers. This is also on Saturday. This is the night game. Both of our number one seeds are playing on Saturday. The Packers +10 at 49ers. Packers, another recency bias thing I'm taking here because the 49ers are absolutely amazing when they're firing on all cylinders. I think the Packers kind of took advantage of Dallas, underestimating them, and I don't think 49ers are going to do that, but +10 is a crazy spread. I'm going to take the Packers at +10 here. Zach is also taking the Packers at +10. And you know what? This is another one I'm not going to be surprised if the 49ers just run them out the building. They're at home. They're probably super excited to play in the playoffs. A lot of people have gotten a rest, gotten healthy for them. And you know what? For the Packers, like I said, they're running the hot hand. They've been really good late down the stretch. I've got to give the Packers at least a covering chance here. I don't know if they win, but they got to at least cover against this. I feel like they will. Yeah, this is going to be a great game. I'm super excited. I think these spreads are just a little, I don't know. We'll see. We'll find out. But, man, these spreads are interesting. Anyways, the Sunday games. Sunday games, we're going to start with Bucks +6 at the Lions. Another home Lion game. So happy for them. So happy for that fan base. It's going to be electric in that stadium once again. Maybe we'll see Eminem perform or something. That'd be pretty sweet. Anyways, yeah, I'm going to ride the vibes here with the Lions. And at +6, I think the Lions win by a touchdown here. There's a real good chance the Bucks can cover this. But I'm going to take the Lions at +6 or at -6 against the Bucks at home. This is going to be another banger. I think Baker could definitely show up on this Lions defense. But I'm going to hand it to them. They're at home. They played really hard last week. It was a very good game. They were the only ones who had a good game, played a really good team. I'll give it to the Lions here at -7 or -6. I think they can maybe pull out a touchdown and win at the end. But this is going to be another banger, man. I'm super, super excited. I wish I could debate with Zach about some thoughts here, but really just I think these are going to be good games, and I'm grateful that we get to watch these games coming up in the divisional round. Zach also took the Lions. Man, I did not want us all to be the – some of me wants to take the Bucks now, but no, we're a little closer than I thought we were going to be. I think we're thinking the same thing here. Some of these teams, I think, just coming off of huge weeks, you got to give them some respect. Lions come off of a banger of a week and a thrilling home win, but they're also going to be at home again. So I got to give the Lions the love. -6. Both of us are going for the Lions. Finally, we end divisional round with what probably is going to be the best game. I mean, this is an absolute classic. It's been a classic every time they've played each other in the playoffs. Chiefs are +3 at the Bills. I'm, of course, going to take the Chiefs because, you know, not only do I believe the Chiefs are a better team than the Bills, even at Bills Stadium. I don't know what Bills Stadium is called, but even at the Bills Stadium. But also, Mahomes has never been a road playoff outside of the Super Bowls. So, you got to give props to that. Anyways, that's just insane to think about. We have 2 Super Bowl wins, and we've been to 3, and Mahomes has never been in a road playoff game, which is just unbelievable. But I think he's excited to do this. I think the whole team's excited. They're rallying. They're ready. They played really well this last week. I think they're going to come out and do the same thing they did to the Dolphins, just dominate the game. Look, this could be a very, very close game. It is going to probably be really, really good because these are 2 really, really good quarterbacks and really, really good teams that are familiar with each other. But there's something about it, man. These Chiefs just look different right now. We were seeing something all year that was just not what we were expecting for the Bills. It was kind of the same until towards the end of the year, and I don't know, man. I just think that the Chiefs are a team that can capitalize on mistakes. The Bills are a team that can capitalize on mistakes. This is going to come down to which team makes the least mistakes. I'm going to go with the Chiefs, even though we've been super mistake-prone, but I do think our defense is going to step up. We're going to stop Josh Allen. We're going to force a couple turnovers. We're just going to play really, really well, and I think Mahomes has just got to play a clean game, and we win. This is going to be an absolute banger, and the weather's going to be crazy. It's going to be super cold. There's going to be some snow. Very, very excited for this game, obviously, not only as a Chiefs fan, but just as an NFL fan. You got to be hyped for this. This is an absolute classic, and we've only seen them like a few times, so you got to appreciate it. I mean, you got 13 seconds, which is one of the best playoff games ever, and yeah, man, the AFC Championship a few years back, 2020, I think it was, when Diggs was standing on the sideline watching the confetti, you know. Kind of going to see what happens here. I obviously believe in my team. Zach is, on the other hand, believing in the Bills. I think he's really just trying to piss me off, to be honest, because I do think he believes in the Chiefs after seeing what we saw. Yeah, man, it's going to be a banger, though. We got a lot of bangers this week. I'm excited. This should be a great, great, great week of football. I know we're getting ready to end, which is super unfortunate, but I think we're getting on the right track to these endings. The right teams, I think, are the Final Four teams. We're going to see what happens. This is sweet. Yeah, I'm excited. Really rooting for my Chiefs, obviously, but I'm really excited for just some great games. Hoping Zach can get better soon. Appreciate you guys for watching. If you guys did, for the remainder of this, I don't know how long. This is maybe like the shortest one we've done, like 20 minutes or something like that. So I hope it's awesome. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Try to just bang through it, get through real quick, kind of do some quick recap, get to what we're seeing this week. And, you know, obviously Zach will be back with me hopefully next week, and we can continue for the championship games. But yeah, I'm just going to say much honor to you guys. We appreciate you guys coming out. Peace. Let's have some great football.